don't wear school.
Here we go.
I don't wear school uniform. So I'll be good.
Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of work here with matrices, and I found it really interesting. My independent study kids doing differential equations, which is math 374. I mean, it's an advanced math class. They were multiplying matrices in the course of doing this course. So these are important skills. You're not going to do them every day in every class, but you want to just stash in the back of your head. So a matrix is simply a rectangular array of numbers. Okay, so this box of numbers, that's what we call a matrix. And matrices can be used to, like, categorize data. So if you have a bunch of data, you can pop it in a matrix and then do stuff with it. So the first thing we're going to do, we're really only going to do three things with our matrices. We're going to find determinants. And the determinant, you'll know it's a determinant because it has vertical bars, not the bracket. And the determinant is just going to be a number. How do you get that number? Well, it's incredibly easy. We multiply 1 times 7. We multiply -3 times 2. And we subtract them. Okay, now wait. This is kind of similar to something else we did. Do you remember what that was? The vector dot product. But remember, the vector dot product, you multiplied the x's, you multiplied the y's, and you added them. This is, you do this diagonal right here, you do this diagonal right here, and then you subtract them. So your answer is 13. Right? So what's this one? What is the value of this determinant? -12 minus 0, so it is -12. That's all there is to finding the determinant. Okay? Now, for your information, you can't find the determinant of a matrix unless it's square. So you'll never have to find the determinant of something like this. Do you understand what I mean when I say square? Same number of rows as columns. If it's square, it's special. It has things, you can do things with squares you can't do with other matrices. This one, I couldn't find the determinant of, but this one I could, and I needed to. All right, so that's step 1. First thing, told you it was easy. All right, second thing, this is the inverse notation. We're going to find the inverse of that matrix. It is a 2-step process, and the first step is find the determinant. Okay, what's the determinant of this guy? -3 minus 5, -8. All right, just hang on to that number for a second. Now, step 1, find the determinant. Step 2, we're going to build a new matrix. It's called the adjoint, but you don't need to know that. You're just going to build this new matrix. And the new matrix, pay attention here, it's kind of wild. The new matrix is found by taking these two numbers. See where I'm pointing right here? And you simply switch. So you put the 3 here and the -1 here. Then you take these other two numbers, and if they're positive, you make them negative, and if they're negative, you make them positive. So that's going to stay right where it is, but it's going to become negative. Stays right where it is, but it becomes negative. So these two get switched. These two get their signs changed. Your inverse is going to be that new matrix with every number divided by -8. So once you get your new matrix built by flip-flopping these and changing the sign on these, you simply divide all that by -8. So your inverse is -3/8, 1/8, 5/8, and 1/8. That is your inverse. And just like all inverses, if you multiplied these two together, they would cancel each other out. In a minute, we're gonna learn how to multiply, and then you can check that on your own if you want. All right, let's find the inverse here. All right, here we go. Step one is what? What do I do first? Take good notes. What do I do first? Find the determinant. So that's gonna be 0 minus -4. Did you get 4 for your determinant? 0 multiply, 0 multiply, -4, subtract. 0 minus -4. All right, now what do? Now we build our new matrix. How do we do that again? We take these two and flip them. So 1, 0. Then that guy is going to become +1, and that guy is going to become -4. And then we take that and divide it by 4. And that is our inverse. So our inverse is 1/4 -1, 1/4 0. All right, are you good with that process? You got good notes? Okay, so now we have one more thing to cover, and that is, how do you multiply matrices together? Well, the rule is this. First of all, figure out if you can multiply. The dimensions of this matrix, in other words, the size of this matrix, is 3 by 2. That's not a times, that's a by. Like if you were saying the room is 8 by 12, that's the dimensions. 3 rows. Rows are like bleachers. And 2 columns. Columns are like the White House. So this is a 3 by 2. Are you okay with that? What's this one?
2 by 2.
2 by 2. He's square. 2 by 2. If we're going to multiply, the rule is these two have to match. So as long as those match, you can multiply. And these two tell me how big my answer is. So my answer is going to have 3 rows and 2 columns. So it's going to look like this. Now, that isn't always the case. For example, if I had a 3 by 2 and a 2 by 8, I can multiply those, and my answer would be what? 3 by 8. Right. But this one is going to be 3 by 2. All right. Everybody with me here, because we're going to start multiplying. Easy. It's easy. You just have to keep track of what you're doing. It's very organized and systematic. But you just have to keep track of what's going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill this spot right here. That spot, would you agree, is in the first row, first column? So I'm going to take the first row and the first column and multiply them. It's always rows, columns. Okay? Rows, columns, always. So I'm going to write down my row, which is 1, 2. And then I'm going to write down my column, which is -1, 2. So I wrote down, here's the 1, 2 from the row. Here's the -1, 2 from the column. I'm going to multiply each pair and add them together. So think about it like your vectors. This is like x and y and y. You multiply your x's, you multiply your y's, and you add them together. So that first number right there is gonna be a 3. Would you agree with that? Now guess what I'm going to do? I'm gonna fill this blank. Now where's he? Well, he's in the first row, but now he's in the second column. So now I'm still using my first row, 1 and 2, but now I'm using my second column, 1 and 4. So that number is 9. Now, here. What am I going to do here? Now I'm going to use my second row in my first column. So -1 and 0, that's my second row. And -1 and 2, that's my first column. So it looks like that guy is a 1. Are you following? All right, go ahead and fill in the rest. See if you can fill in the rest. Just work your way through row by column. And you guys, some of you can certainly do this in your head. You don't have to write all this down. You can, helps you stay organized, but you can probably do it in your head. Now we'll see if that worked for me. I did it in my head and that could have been a disaster. Do we match? All right, so we have some more practice here. That was 14A. Now we're gonna do 14B. And I'm not even gonna write down 14B, because what do I notice about it right off the bat? What are the dimensions in 14B? What are the dimensions of matrix A? It's a 3 by 2. And what are the dimensions of matrix B? They do not multiply. You can't multiply them because the rule again is these have to match. If they don't match, you're not going to multiply. All right, what do you think about C? Is that going to be multipliable? What are the dimensions of A? How many rows?
2.
2. How many
3.
columns? 3. And what are the dimensions of B? How many rows?
3 by 3.
How many columns?
3.
Can we multiply?
Yeah.
Yes. And the answer is going to be another 2 by 3.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to start? You fill in any order you want. I always start here. That's row 1, column 1. So row 1, always rows, and then columns. Roman Catholic, RC, rows, then columns. So here's my row. Here's my column. Multiply them all up and add. So it looks like that first one is going to be a 3. And then, I don't know, let's go here. So that's row 1, column 2. -2, I always make arithmetic mistakes when I do that. Is that -2?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and finish it. See what you come up with. You're doing exactly what we just did. You okay with that? That's what you got? Alright, I'm fine with it then. Alright, one more. Last one. What are the dimensions of matrix A? How many rows does it have? 1. How many columns does it have? 4. So it is a 1 by 4. Now what about matrix B? How many rows does it have? It's a 4 by 1. Are those multipliable? Yep. And what's going to happen when you multiply them? What are you going to get? What's a 1 by 1? Just a number. What is that number going to be? Well, you're going to take first times first, second times second, third times third, fourth times fourth, and add them up. So what do we get?
20.
Do we get 20?
I think so.
Okay. That's it.
You have to put it in the brackets.
Technically you do, yeah. So technically it would look like this, but that's kind of dumb because there's no number there.
Yeah.
All right, so now I want you to get out your extra practice sheet. And I want you to spend a few minutes working on those. The answers are online, so you can check your work, your homework sheet.
That's what we were working on.
Oh my gosh.
That's what we just did, yeah.
I meant to be doing the notes, but
No,
yes.
we're gonna get back
Okay. All right, here are my notes. All right, let me make sure I covered everything in the notes. I think I did, yeah. The notes are actually shorter than the homework. Okay, all right. So what I want you to do then, real quick, I want you to do, just so you have to practice on your own, I want you to do 12, I want you to do A in your notes, this problem A for 12, 13, and 14, just to make sure you can do it on your own. So in your notes, do problem A. Thanks for waiting until I got all the way through to tell me that, folks. We're in our notes, which is where we were supposed to have been.
The camera doesn't on the record.
Then you add them. No, you subtract them. Yeah, you subtract them. You subtract them.
He's touching me right now.
Plus 20. So it'd be 23. Determines 20.
And we're doing 12A, 13A, 14A, and I'd like somebody to come up and put them on the board. So get 12A over here, 13 and 14. Get them up there. This is from the notes.
Yeah.
Is it because those brackets? You have to do these from 30. Oh, is it a minus? Subtract this. No, you got it all. It's subtract. I added up. So
Why are you not even supposed to subtract and use that?
Positive 10.
And then negative 24.
So it's negative 3.
Yes.
7. 1.
7
times 7 minus. I really should have put 3, negative 1. But
No, I should have done so exactly. I just know that was pretty. You have negative 24. Right? Kidding.
should I do all my work or just put the answer in?
Oh, sure you are.
That one might be negative 4. I need to scroll. I got 2 7.
Where am I supposed to get paid?
What? No, I did this morning.
Kelly, are you done?
What?
Are you done?
Which ones were we supposed to do?
12, 13, 14, A.
I've been 14 added. 13D.
It's up there.
We're just
Never
doing
mind.
the A, that's number 12, 13, 14.
Yeah.
All right, I matched Declan.
Yeah.
I match Cole. And so far I match Alex. Yep. Okay, I told you that stuff's pretty easy. Anybody have a question about that before we look at questions about other stuff? You good? All right, were there any questions about the rest of your homework? I'm gonna ask you if you did it here shortly, but let's see, do you have any questions? The answers were posted, so you certainly could have checked to know if you were right or not. Any questions about the other stuff?
I just want like some quick refreshers on how to do some. Like I'm wondering like,
Lots of chatter, all good stuff, I'm sure. Any questions?
The 10B.
10, 10B.
Something like that.
10B is a solve the triangle problem. So when we do, I'm in the right thing, right? Yeah. When we solve triangles, it's a solve the triangle, you have two choices. You're gonna do the law of sines or the law of cosines. Now you also have SOHCAHTOA, but SOHCAHTOA only works in a right triangle. This is not a right triangle, so I'm not doing that. It's sines or cosines. Which one is this one? Gotta be cosines. And the reason it has to be cosines, guys, is in order to use the law of sines, you have to have a pair. You have to have angle C and side C, or angle H and side H, or angle S and side S. If you don't have that, then you're gonna do cosines, okay? So your angle is 68, so right here on this end is gonna go cosine 68, and on this side is gonna be C squared. The law of cosines, that big long equation, on one end is your angle, well, the cosine of the angle, and on the other end, all by itself, is the side squared. And then in the middle, remember, is that Pythagorean-ish looking thing. It's 15 squared plus 17 squared minus 2 times 15 times 17 times cosine 68. And what's your caution? Every time we use the law of cosines, you have to remember to square root your answer, because that's C squared. So you type it in. And it looks 17.971. If I'm in agrees, yep. All right. What else?
I got 17.015, but I did like the same thing. Is that what you got?
No, I got 17.971.
I got what she got,
Yeah, you just type it in differently. You must have, maybe you were off on the number. That's not-
It's probably get the age too, it's a long time.
Yeah, so then, once I know this side over here, I got that down. Then I can pick an angle.
6, C,
Maybe I'll find H next. So sine 68 over the thing that I just found equals sine H over 17. So then I will cross multiply. Now if I just type 17 sine 68 divided by that C thing I got, I'm going to get a decimal. This is not the answer. What do I have to do to actually get angle H? I need to inverse sine that, yeah. And I got H, I got 61.294. And then, of course, to find the third one, I'm just gonna add those two and subtract from 180. All right? Who else has a question? 6. C. Write the equation of the hyperbola. So the first thing I have to do is remember what a hyperbola equation looks like. And if I've taken good notes, there's no question I know what a hyperbola equation looks like. It looks like that. Now, what do I know about this hyperbola? -1, -1. -1, -1, and -1, -8 are vertices. So that gives me an immense amount of information. That's almost enough. That tells me that my hyperbola looks like this, which means y comes first in the equation, because with a hyperbola, the direction is determined by the first letter of the equation. Order matters because it's a subtraction. Whichever one comes first, that's how you write it. I also know that my center, this is my transverse axis, my center is right in the middle of it. So I need the midpoint, it's going to be -1 something. I need the midpoint of -1 and -8, which is negative 4.5. Is that right? -1, -9, yeah. So that tells me that I have y plus 4.5, x plus 1. I also know that I'm going up and down, what, 3.5? Which means under y is 3.5 squared, which is 12.25. The only thing I can't tell from what I have up there is anything about the conjugate axis. Well, what did they tell me? The conjugate axis is 10 units long, which means I'm starting at the center and going back and forth 5, which means under x is 25. There it is. All right. Okay, our period ends at 12:25. so we got tons of time, over an hour. So here's what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna come around and make sure you got your homework done, I know y'all got the last part done. But did you do the rest of the homework?
No,
Did you do any of the homework?
I did some of it.
Brother, she's trying to get me grade.
So whole, you did,
Look,
give me a fraction, like half,
Yeah, ish.
Just didn't do all of it.
Yeah, around half. But I was just trying to like, I thought we were taking two
Probably has
quizzes.
a I don't know the points I could get.
Gus, for real?
Come on, man, what do you know, man?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
Well, there was a little
I'm
struggle.
afraid you know me as well, but you know how it is.
Every single problem for a full success.
Of course, me too.
I'm telling, let's get
So you
hungry.
got it?
Yeah,
Alright,
100%.
Stop.
you too?
There's no way you wrote on your paper in big letter Owen
Alex,
I'm just documenting.
Alex,
Come on now.
It's hot. It's the only type of paper you eat lunch right now.
Swear to God. After I hang out with you,
Yeah.
It's lunch period.
it's not bad. Yeah.
You don't get it. You know why you don't get it? I don't care.
I think I could run a Taco Bell.
What, before?
Oh, yeah, yeah, I do remember.
No, like I have Jamel resource. That's this whole basic glitch where they can dude get Taco Bell for the fucking preschool head.
1,500 over FX.
Oh, that is dude. How do you know I have to do that?
What?
How'd you wait?
I have 50.
No, I know, but I was literally, I forgot, I was game planning, I have to spend my entire B period doing that.
alright, so now,
'Cause I was
here's
in
what's
alpha class.
happening.
We wanted.
You need dividers, but before I get started, here's what we're gonna do, alright? I'm gonna give you the quiz is,
What?
you're gonna get the quiz and then you're gonna work right on it. I mean, you know, work right on it, but you're gonna write your answers on this, okay? You're gonna do everything in pencil, of course. You are allowed to use your notes and homework. Your notes and homework you're allowed to use, okay? You're working on your own. This is not a group project, all right? However, when we are all finished, you will get out a pen. And then you may go seek help from someone with one problem, all right? So you're gonna do them all. All right, using your notes and homework, and then with your pen, you can go get help from one person. So if you think Gus is the guy, you'll go to Gus and say, Gus, help me with. You get one attempt from the friend, okay, one, and you do that in ink, so I know which one you got help from.
What?
All right, everybody clear on the rules of the game?
Yeah.
All right, let's get fighters.
The rules of the game?
You can come up here. Or he can.
This is for.
How long does this take? Because I can.
Good call, good call.
And you leave at 11:30, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's 10 minutes, it's gonna take 10 minutes. So you two are just gonna go sit out in the hallway, and you're gonna come tomorrow morning during office hours. What's the matter?
We just don't get the phone a friend.
You're the friend.
No, well,
That's why I'm saying he
I was just saying we should try to grind it out now.
You don't have 10 minutes. Probably.
Well, I mean, the test is here, and like they told us,
Test doesn't start till 12.
they just told us to like be.
I am not messing with that. You are going to come in the morning and take it, okay? And you'll have your notes and homework,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you know-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's
So,
awesome.
out in the
enough.
hallway.
This is
Out in the hallway. And,
Take that.
somebody
I
can
borrowed
sit
that.
here.
I'm locked in.
You have to rent it. You have to
Take
rent
them
it.
Oh,
Maybe
Mario
Mario
Kart.
I got a dollar for
It's
it.
a
I at the end of the day. Okay.
Hello?
Probably not.
Can I phone?
I think I got a dollar from Callan somewhere.
Anybody have an order?
I still have a dollar.
Well, do they need our calculator on the order?
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah, we will.
No, he's got to use it on the
You
bottom.
got our tires, we're ready to go.
You might have to rinse my dad for the 50 cent.
No, you'll take care of it.
Okay, I'll
You'll
give you
bring
the
me-
50
I don't
cent.
care where you get it.
I'll give you the 50 cent.
You'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Someone screen record the quiz, bro.
Oh, we got a original.